Hi, I'm Danny, the ADHD medium, and today we're going to dive into soul contracts and stuck souls and what happens after we pass, and is there good energy or bad energy? Are we truly stuck anywhere? Buckle up, it's a lot to cover. I'll do my best to start at the beginning. We go through, we design our life, what it is we want to learn, and who we're going to do that with. All the people in your life before you decided to come to Earth and live life here, you went through a plan with and set, here is our main arc of story. Spirit always compares the soul contracts to Grand Theft Auto in my mind, and is just going through and designing your character. And I think the craziness that ensues in that game, it definitely feels like it applies to life. You have your character and you build out your character, your hair, your features, and you decide your storyline. Then we're born, we have amnesia. We lose all of our knowledge of our other lifetimes and the knowledge of home, which when we die physically, we go home. So we all have this main storyline that we're experiencing. And then we have the main story, like both worldwide and then on a personal level. And then we have our little side missions where you can either kind of skip through those, or you end up like me. I like to go into every area of the game, meet every character that I can, find every chest. I want to see everything and experience. So I probably do that with life too. In your contract, you have your main themes and things that you want to learn. I'm going to use my dear friend as an example. She was born into a really, really rough family. Her siblings, her parents, even step-parents appeared to hate her. She's made the statement that she realizes when retelling the story of her childhood, it sounds unbelievable because it's so extreme. In one of our debates about where these awful people are, she's hoping they're somewhere contemplating how they treated her, because by all accounts I've heard, it wasn't good. I know that our human mind wants repayment for the things done to us and in our life, but that isn't the case. When she set up her contract, she decided, I want to learn how to value honesty, to speak up for herself, to set boundaries, to learn that love doesn't have to be earned, just to name a few. When she came into this family that she decided to incarnate with is not honest. This family avoids emotional reality. This family essentially tests her on every level of growth because it is the complete opposite of what she came here to learn. Her parents and family taught her exactly how not to behave and what she didn't want in her life. They taught her to value honesty above everything else, to speak up for herself, to keep speaking the truth, no matter when it's difficult. Through all of that, they never broke her. She did not let them form her into what they appear like and their behavior. She went against the grain, and it was not an easy life. When we do set up our characters, or you could think of even similar to this being like a Halloween costume, something you put on, a character you are playing, and there is an objective to it. Each one of us is either a hero or a villain in someone's perspective. At least in this plane. So when I go back to somebody sees you as a villain or a hero, that's Earth perspective. That does not exist in the spiritual realm. Everything there just is. But you as well as I am a villain in someone's story. We have all done something that other person perceives as you're an awful person. Even if we don't see it that way, it's perspective. How we see that person in that moment and what they did, in our opinion, is subjective, your reality. It's like, well, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't have any intention of being harmful. But in that other person's perspective, that was very harmful and you were a terrible person. We all have that. It just is. That's a part of life. When you come down and incarnate in these difficult situations or any situation, those people that decided, okay, I'm going to play the mother that doesn't love you. And I'm going to play the sibling that tries to harm you. Or I'm going to play the sibling that ignores you. Or the sibling that won't give you space. Whatever role, use your imagination or compare to your life, that has a purpose. She did learn honesty, self-love, and to speak up. She later became a nurse and cared for other people and advocated for other people. And I think a lot of us can relate that there's so much that over our lifetime that has formed us into the person we are. And that is the same in terms of us as a whole being home on the other side. So we reincarnate through many lives. And so it doesn't make sense that for one lifetime, if I decided, okay, I'm going to be the horrible person that is the catalyst for you to change, now I have to suffer being in a low vibe or lower energy area because I came in and played the character that you needed me to play to gain your growth. We also don't exist beyond the memory of us. I'm only going to exist as long as somebody remembers me. Once several generations down the line, I don't have a memory of you. Like my great-great-grandparents, I don't know who they are. I couldn't tell you anything about them. I have no information other than they're somewhere in my line. Realistically, to be stuck in a level because you decided to play a catalyst and the sense that nobody remembers you either, all of your memories from each lifetime is integrated back into your, what people call their higher self, or like your main self, with all of your memories from every lifetime and all of the lessons that you took and integrated as one. So there's no purpose in suffering after death. There's no purpose in being punished after you passed. There's no purpose in being stuck here either. Like your angels and your guides don't guide you through this entire life and then turn around once you pass and be like, peace out, motherfucker. Good luck getting home. They've spent all this time with you. After we pass, the amnesia comes off and it's like, oh, okay, this is what this was. You integrate all your understanding. We still have a connection with that part. So my grandfather who's passed, I can still connect with him and his personality. We have our personality. We don't just cease to exist. I can still reach out to his soul or my grandma's soul and speak with them, and they have their memory of everything we lived here together. But like realistically, once I die and let's say my daughter dies, like there's nobody to reach out to that part of that storyline or that character anymore. And you as a whole don't cease to exist. You remember all your lifetimes and all of these lived experiences because we have to live each aspect of an experience. For an example, her role as a nurse. When you go in as a patient, you can get an idea of what she does, or from a friend, I can gain insight into her experience, but I will never have the knowledge and the experience, the growth from being a nurse unless I am one, or being a patient unless I am one. We want to experience both. This time I'm a nurse, this time I'm the patient. Same with, okay, this time I'm going to experience addiction. And my loved ones are experiencing all that and whatever lessons they have to take from my addiction. But they cannot fathom what it's like for me just based on seeing it. And so then maybe in the next lifetime, they come in as the addict and the rest of us would experience the flip side of it. Because until you have actually lived that experience, you can't really have a full understanding of it. That brings me to the life review. A lot of times it's presented as a punishment, and it's not a punishment, because if you decided to come in here and play the villain, or what we perceive as the villain, there's no purpose for that. You were here to be a catalyst. You were here to cause change and allow people to learn the lessons that they were here to learn. Well, as we are getting closer to the end of our contract, that's when an internal life review happens. Almost like if you were cleaning up files on the computer and bundling a report and have all the experiences that is now going to be turned in and integrated into your whole self. It's not any kind of a, oh, well, you're going to feel what you did to me. A lot of times we feel that we want justice for things that we feel have been done to us. And I understand, but that is not the purpose of us incarnating and being here on earth. We're here to learn the lessons and grow. She and I had been debating on what happens afterwards and the free will, what Spirit is showing me. The Spirit has a whole new set of stuff for me to share. It's different than the polarity we have here of people not paying for things in the afterlife. As I was working on what episode next or what Spirit wanted me to talk to next, this all came to mind. And it was like, okay, well, how do I prove this, Spirit? Where's the proof that there's the plan laid out? I left it at that, went to bed. And I get the image now of my guides going, oh, she wants proof. Hold my beer. So next morning, I get up. I'm getting ready for the day. And I was listening to an astrology piece for the week. I wasn't paying attention to it. I was kind of in my head going over my checklist for the day. And I'm looking at my piles of stuff. So if you have ADHD, you know about the piles. Which also, just side note, like, I never had any idea, because I was diagnosed so young, medication was the only option at the time. There wasn't a lot of info out on it. And so I had learned about the piles, and it's like, okay, so that's not me, that's just messy. That is a part of my ADHD. That was kind of relieving, but also you think it's a quirk. And it's like, okay. So anyways, back to the story. I'm looking at my clothing piles and I'm like, okay, I have to do something about this. I have to get rid of these. I need to sort this one. I need to go through this. I need to wash this and handle this. I wasn't really listening, but then I heard her say something about if your Saturn's in this degree on that, the overview that I'm giving is for a broad overview, but you have to see if this is in your chart. And I was like, okay, let's look. I'm not an astrologer, but I love using ChatGPT to pull astrology. I decided to ask, where is this placement for this time period? And I kid you not, ChatGPT comes back with, oh, it's not in your house, but it barely brushes it. And during this time, you may feel an intense urge to clean. Then it gets into the specifics, saying cleaning clutter items, going through clothing, reorganizing closets. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Even my urge to clean is not in my free will. It's my free will to decide to clean or not. It's lined up in my plan to get ready for the next steps of 2026 and kind of the plan that Spirit has shared with me for that. So it's time to get out the old and clean up, and then we're going to move on. I was stunned. It was like, okay, guys, you got me. So then I get the bright idea, because I want to pull my friend's astrology and I want to show her, because she always felt that she wanted to know the why of the family being that way. And then she also had a marriage in there that she felt like she shouldn't have done. She thought that she interrupted a karmic path. The past couple of years, I'm just going, no, like this was in your life plan. But I didn't have proof of that. ChatGPT doesn't know anything about her life. And I just did on a fresh chat. And I said, hey, can you pull the astrology from this to this? Can you look through here and see if you see a marriage and tell me about it? It went into detail about the experiences from childhood and what she had learned and what I was telling her. Her marriage, that was a contract, and these things she was supposed to learn. I was just stunned to see all of the things that Spirit had been telling me, being able to tie the contracts. We, of course, went down a crazy rabbit hole. Let's combine the information from his astrology and yours. And then we went in and did one with us, what the astrology shows in there. And it had just blown my mind. So the evidence that Spirit provided, where you're seeing that we create contracts, the life plan, how he was the villain and the family was the villain, and that is in there. And all the points where what she learned from that, that is in there. And then even our friendship, because it's so significant, is in there too. So I was just like, okay, guys, you can have your bear back. Thank you for the evidence you gave. That to me also reinforces that we are not stuck here because we come down, we have a plan, and it doesn't matter what our role in the plan is. It's not good or bad. It just is. And so you take that information you've gained and go home with it and you integrate it and we go on to the next. I know that was a lot to take in and this is probably going to be fun editing. I know it's a broad overview. I will do deeper layers or see how Spirit wants me to break this up. Let me know if you have any questions or things that you want clarified that I can go into in a different video. The main point is to free us, that our decisions in this lifetime, it doesn't affect us in a way that we are going to be stuck when we pass. We are not stuck in low vibes. That's not the point of our life. Our point is to come and experience, learn these lessons, and enjoy ourselves. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.